let me tell you guys, welcome to your frontline agent support call. Thank you guys for being here today. I want to say how much I appreciate you guys coming, taking time out of your business to get better, right? So thank you for taking the time out of your day. Christina's here. Hello, everybody. Nisa is coming in. I want to do a special introduction for my main man, Jeffrey. If you do not know Jeff, you're going to get to know Jeff, and you better know Jeff, and you better reach out to him afterwards. Guys, we are honored to have Jeffrey as our special guest today because Jeffrey not only is the team leader of his own team, JC Sales Team at EXP, but he is a distinguished real estate professional with extensive experience. He is an EXP icon agent. He ranks in the top 1%, ladies and gentlemen. Let me repeat that 1% in the entire company. Okay. He has served as the president of the South Florida Board of Realtors, and he's been a member of the Miami YPN Leadership Board. Jeffrey's dedication and his innovative strategies have earned him this recognition of being among the top 100 influential realtors. And he does it time and time again. Jeffrey's going to be sharing his invaluable insights today on increasing agent production because I know Jeffrey's doing 8 to 10 listings per month on average. So guys, if we're going to hear it from the best, we got to hear it from Jeffrey. So we're going to learn about agent production. We're going to learn about boosting our sales performance. So please, everybody, join me in welcoming Jeffrey Corriolan.
Hey, get excited. Super thrilled to be here. Super thrilled to be here. When Jessica gave me the numbers, guys, I love a little bit friendly competition. As my PowerPoint opens up, I love a little bit friendly competition. So when she called me and said, hey, I want you to do the frontline call, she's like, I've been looking at your numbers and your numbers are amazing. And I said, do you mind sharing the numbers with me? And she shared the numbers with me. And then I said, can you tell me where I rank? And the reason she told me this, ladies and gentlemen, and for some of you guys, we may say, hey, I want to know the numbers so I can pat myself on the shoulder. I want to know the numbers so I can boost my enthusiasm up. But for me, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to know the numbers so I know where to go next. I wanted to know where to go next. And that's really why I want the numbers. I was just ranked Real Trends numbers. Thank you, Jessica, for your assistance in that as well. Real Trends numbers, top 1.5% real estate professionals nationwide doing the damn thing. Drop some fires in the room for that for me. Celebrate me. Drop some fires in the room for that. But guess what? Once again, I looked at the numbers and I said, wait a minute, where am I? I have two issues. One of my issues is that I don't rank top 100. I don't rank top 200. And then issue number two was my price point, my average price point. I've always known from day one that my average price point was somewhere in the 1 to 300s, okay? And I saw that on the report. It said average sales price of 52 units last year was $368,000. I said, there's an opportunity for me to get better. There is an opportunity for me to get better. So what I'm doing now is I'm focusing on having higher level conversations. And guys, listen to how serious I am. If you guys are not a part of our True Real Estate Exchange group, you probably don't know this. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, I placed my home, the home that I'm in right now, I've placed it on the market to rent, so I can go be with people that's going to raise my price point to higher level conversations. My mortgage, and I'm going to share this in its public records, is $800. I don't escrow. So that means I don't pay my taxes and my insurance inside my mortgage, but my standard mortgage is $800. Why would someone leave a $800 mortgage to go pay $4,100? Yes, I'm going to be paying $4,100 in Las Olas, is because I said I've been doing this way too long to not have higher level conversations. So that's my story. So I want everyone to unmute themselves. And I want to open this room up because I want to make sure everyone's attentive right now. And let's unmute ourselves and say, we got to figure it out on 3. 1, 2, 3. We got
to figure it out.
Come on now. There you go. There you go. We got to figure it out. So what's happening is right now is that some of us are kind of confused, and I'm excited that this NAR conversation is kind of dying out and I'm not hearing a lot about it. But for the last couple of weeks, and I see my great friend Christina on here, my girl. Thank you, Christina, for keep pushing us. You know, her and I talk almost every single day. And for the past couple of weeks, ladies and gentlemen, I heard so much about what do you think about the commission? What do you think about the changes? And this is coming from realtors. And you know what happens? I'm going to tell you guys, ladies and gentlemen, people that are hosting those conversations, people that are asking those questions are typically the people that are in fear. Think about it. Have you noticed anyone that's getting listings, going to closings, meeting sellers and buyers each and every single day, asking those type of questions? And my response, ladies and gentlemen, has been, I really don't care. I don't care what happens. I'm excited for the change. I'm excited for the new opportunity for us to just improve our skills. But really, I'm not concerned about what happens in June or August or whatever happens in November of this year, which is going to be the final hearing. Because guess what? I'm going to figure it out. So have buyers had the conversation with me? Yes, they have. But guess what? I prepared myself so that I can understand how to overcome that objection. So if you're now here today with us and you're one of those people that said, man, what are we going to do? How are we going to figure it out? I want you right now to stop. I want you right now to stop and have the conversation with yourself on how are you going to overcome it? How am I going to keep collecting 6, 7, 8% commissions? Yes, that is me. I have 2 deals, y'all. I double-sided on one of them at 1.5, 6%. I have another deal that's closing in September. I double-sided on it at 10%. Okay. So having those type of conversations are not a concern for me. Okay. So as we get started, I finally got my presentation up. What I'm going to be focusing on is I'm going to be focusing on what my niche is. My niche is working with sellers. Okay. You heard earlier from Jessica, 10 to 13 listings. You know, I woke up this morning and I said my listing count is down. And I think everyone's listing count is down, but what are we going to do differently? So what I've done now is I've brought in Fiverr to help me with so much stuff. So now I have Fiverr. I pulled someone from Fiverr that's going to be calling for 5 hours leads that I have that we have not touched. Leads that I have that happen to be in the cold area. Leads that I have that happen to be in the warm area because I need help. Okay. For the rest of you guys, my goal is $40 million. I'm a little bit short, but I'm not concerned. I just have to understand that I need to double my efforts each and every single day. But what I'm going to do today, ladies and gentlemen, is I'm going to assist you guys on growing your listing count. If that's what you're here for, welcome. If you didn't know that's what you're here for, welcome. Because I believe that as I am always a student, definitely a student of Lisa Colpin, Claudia and Hibbert Smith, Elena Cardone, and Hosper. I definitely want to give it back to them, Tarek El Musa, and everyone else a part of our organization here, is that I'm a student that's always getting better, okay? So I wanted to just remind you guys, if you guys didn't know who I was. So $105 million of real estate sold in the last 10 years. And then ranked just yesterday at 1.5% of the top agents in the United States, okay? What did this show me before we get started is, one, know your numbers because you're going to use it for the presentation. But two, understand what's happening out there when it comes to real estate and understand where you rank. Because what am I going to do right now is I'm going to now use this and leverage myself when I'm meeting with the buyers and the sellers, okay? Now, some other acclimates, which probably don't even matter anymore, but acclimates definitely help you. So what you guys got to do is when you guys are meeting with these customers, you want to make sure that you validate why should they work with you. In a market where they can work with anyone, in a market where agents are about to accept 1, 2, and 3% listings. Believe it or not, people are going to be so desperate. They're going to say, hey, let's shift with the market. They're going to start accepting 1, 2, and 3% commissions. I'm telling you that already. Okay. Because why? They don't have what Claudian calls posture. I love that word so much. They don't have posture to understand that if we continue to give in, we're just going to devalue our business. So what you're going to do right now, if you don't have your resume, this is my resume, ladies and gentlemen. This is my resume that I meet my people at 2 million. This is my resume that I meet people at $100,000. And this is my resume that I meet sellers at $500,000 to $700,000. This is my resume. Okay. So what do I do is I show them that I'm not only a real estate professional, but I am a professional when it comes to the industry of real estate. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and you're going to create your resume, and your resume may be anything that you've been able to do in the community that you've been a part of, in the school that your kids may attend, in the industry that you may be a part of. I don't know if we have any non-real estate professionals here, or even in the space that you're in right now. Okay. We definitely have our 10X team here and our 10X family here, but we also have other organizations and mini organizations as well. So what you're going to do is you're going to pull those out. And some stuff, ladies and gentlemen, I even forgot about it. I said, wait a minute, I got to go back 5, 10, 15 years ago and say, what acclimates did I ever receive? And how am I going to now use that as a formula to show the seller that I'm the best agent? We're going to educate ourselves. Okay, we're going to educate ourselves on the best way that we can educate ourselves. If anyone has taken the SRS designation, which is a national designation, can you just drop a 1 in the chat? If you've taken the seller's representation specialist designation, can you just drop a 1 in the chat? Hey, Shanice. Beautiful. And if you haven't, make a side note to yourself. I got to get designations. I got to get courses. And I'm not a student that wants to attend every single class, but I'm a student that understands that what are my arsenal tools that I'm going to be using when I'm meeting with the seller. So you definitely want to go ahead. The class is a course that's going to teach you on how to have that posture. This is a course that's going to teach you on how to market and sell homes. It's going to teach you how to host a listing presentation, how to get the listing signed. This is the course that's going to allow that. So I have my SRS designation. Okay. Then what I have is I have a guaranteed. I have a guarantee so that when I compete next to John Smith that may be farming the area for the past 20 years, I'm going to say, guess what though? What is his average days on market? And you may want to audit yourself right now. If any listings you've had, and maybe you just had one listing, how long did it take you to sell that listing? Not saying that area or market or seasons don't play a factor, but how long does it take you to sell a home? So what I've done is I created the guarantee that I'll sell your home in 29 days or less that I stand behind. There's obviously some stipulations about that when it comes to pricing, marketing, conditions of the home. Welcome, Monique. But create some type of value proposition in this market right now where you're going to stand out differently than the next person. I was always told this. I was always told that as everyone is going straight, you want to go right. Okay? You want to do something that the next person is not doing. Guess what? I'm going to leave that presentation and they're going to say, wait a minute, he guaranteed us 29 days or less. But guess what? I'm going to also pack my presentation with so much more. I'm going to pack my presentation with so much more that you're just going to be wowed. And how did this presentation win me? This presentation has won me appointments, ladies and gentlemen, that I've literally seen people walk out and I'm walking in and they literally canceled in front of me every other appointment afterwards because I've been able to overcome objections, give them what they want, and show them the vision, show them the pathway of how to get to where they need to get to. And you know how I do that, ladies and gentlemen? I ask a lot of questions. Ask a lot of questions. Okay? Because sometimes although I'm going to go through this presentation with you guys, though, sometimes when I go to the presentation, I'm not even pulling out the presentation, but what I'm doing is I'm focusing on their biggest issue. And maybe the biggest issue is the last agent put my property on the market and the house was never decluttered, like a listing I just took in Hollywood. They hired their cousin. He had the property on the market for 7 months. He never told them that they needed to take down personal photos. They needed to stage the home. They needed to declutter. And as I was walking them through the home, she says, Jeff, you know what's so funny about this? I was watching this all on HGTV, and my agent of 6 months, which is my cousin, never told me that. So what do? We said, yes, remove the personal photos from the home, declutter the property, and stage the home. And sometimes it's staging the home with just stuff that's around the property that they already own. Okay. My smart sellers list is going to talk to them about what do I do differently. So these commissions are just examples, folks, not my actual commission rates. They're just examples. Okay. But I'm going to talk to them about better experience than the next person. Top 5% locally. I probably need to update that. I design the commission rate that you want to pay. I love that. I love when they ask me, what is your commission? Or they say, hey, can you beat out the other agent? And who am I speaking to, guys? If you guys audit my listings right now, they're expireds and FSBOs, and probably mostly FSBOs. And probably FSBOs where the number one reason they don't list with agents is because they don't want to pay the commission. So how is this little guy here able to get a 5, 6, 7, 8% commission? Free cancellation. So free cancellation basically means that Mr. Seller, and this actually, I've lost a listing using this because they decided to no longer sell. And they said, per the agreement that we signed together, we decided to remove the home off the market right now, which is good because I kept the relationship and I still have the relationship with them. And just at this moment right now, they're not selling the home. But free cancellation, Mr. Seller, at any time that you feel dissatisfied with our services, which never happens really, you have the right to cancel this contract free of charge. Variable commission structure basically means that we have the opportunity to negotiate the commission. And guess what? I'm going to be able to sell your home faster and higher than 25, 60% of you doing it on your own. Because what? I'm going to have the stats with me. We know that a for sale by owner. Yep, talk to me.
A lot of people are asking, this presentation is so good so far. A lot of people are asking if you'd be willing to share this presentation afterwards.
Yeah, I'll send it to you and I guess you'll send it out with the recording or whatever. Oh, it'll go into the
Yes.
world, right?
Yes, I can do that.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
All
Thank you
right,
so much.
guys, look at that. Keep going. Sorry, Jeffrey, to interrupt.
So now we understand a for sale by owners typically sells for less money because they're losing access to the MLS, correct or correct? The only way a for sale by owner is getting any traffic to his or her home is by the little for sale by owner sign that's in front of their house, or by the little Zillow ad where they're getting inundated with people like Christina, John, and myself who are active callers calling every single day. So what does that mean, Mr. Seller? I'm going to show you how I can get your home sold anywhere from 25 to 67%. And you know what I also do in addition to that is I give them scenarios. I say, you know, I specialize in selling homes of for sale by owners just like yourself. And I'm excited about Joseph's house. Joseph had his home listed at 460. I was able to get his house on the market for 480. And guess what? We sold for 485 because of the multiple offers that we had. And guess what? That happened during one open house that we held. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a true story. And Shanice Johnson, who's with us right now, held that open house. So what I did was I just painted the picture for them on how we're able to do that. Professional photos, MLS access. So if you have MLS access, know your statistics of who is in your MLS. For South Florida, we have about 65,000 agents. And in Florida alone, we have 160,000 agents surfing the MLS each and every single day. So I'm going to say that. I'm saying, Mr. Seller, you're missing out on 67,000 realtors that now have access to your home, where they're now able to bring you buyers each and every single day. We're going to talk about full service. What does full service mean? Full service means whatever you have as your full service package. For myself, we don't use lockboxes or Supras. So I've been able to partner up with one of my great friends who's on here as well, Kayla, who we personally show your home, Mr. Seller. We do not use lockboxes or Supras on any of our properties. We schedule the showings and we walk people through your home. And Mr. Seller, why do we do that? Because you just told me right now that you just spent $45,000 redoing that pool. Now, if we had a lockbox on your home, and now I'm going to justify why we don't use lockboxes and Supras, Kayla. If we have realtors walking in and out of your home through a lockbox, how do they know that that pool cost you $45,000? Is this making sense to you guys?
Jeffrey, I'm going to be honest with you. That is a really different take than I've ever heard. I've never heard the concept of being in more control of who's coming to see the property. Normally you'd think that you want just the open access. I mean, this is really different. And I think I want to highlight a little bit more like about going into like having more control. Which is really interesting. Like you do want to be there to talk about the property, right? That's so cool.
You know what I love about that, Jessica, is that I love that I'm able to answer any questions that the buyer may have. I'm able to clarify anything that the seller, I mean, that the selling agent may have. I'm able to read the buyer's face. Sometimes they're puzzled, and I'm able to read their face. I'm able to understand when I need to step out of the home and leave them in the home. And I'm able to understand what else is in the market area. So now I can explain my listing versus the next listing because I'm studying the market each and every single day. But lastly, I'm able to guarantee them my 29 days or less because of this method right here. We get more homes under contract because we're actually there answering the people's questions on the spot. The buyer's not leaving having 10, 20 questions, or the buyer's not leaving now getting your home confused with the other 6, 7 houses that the realtor is showing them. They're going to remember me. They're going to remember we walked them through the home. We explained everything to them. We answered their questions. We let them know the position of where the seller's at. We spoke to them about multiple offers. We let them know that a decision is going to be made Tuesday at 5 p.m. So they better get their offer in as quickly as possible. And we also explained to them that, hey, the seller may need a post-closing. The seller may not need a post-closing. The seller may be open to giving you concessions towards closing. We're able to negotiate pretty much 30%, 50% of the offer right then and there. Because we
Wow.
have
That's
the
impact.
tools.
That's impact. I like that what Kayla said in the chat. If anyone didn't see that, you are providing a curated experience and you ensure to give them all the details of the property. You're giving them the stats, you're giving them the information. Any hesitations, any thoughts, doubts, whatever, you eliminated it from that experience.
And then lastly, on a good note, I tell the seller, Mr. Seller, when you put a lockbox on your home, you now have people touching your AC. You now have your lights being left on. You now have stuff running in your house. I am going to securely make sure that your home is as secure as possible, vacant or not vacant, so that you don't have people running in and running out. I'm also able to keep eyes on the home. So now we're lowering the opportunity of squatters, intruders. It's a value service. Now, guess what? They're now going to say, hey, let me think about it, for example, because they didn't sign. But now Jessica, John, Jacob, Michael's going to come in. And what are they looking for? They're looking for to see if that person's going to say, we use a Supra that we put on your door, which is very secure. We know when every realtor is coming in and out, and we're able to follow up with them. Versus, wait a minute, EXP Realty just left here and just said that they personally show my house. We talked to them about the internet process of how we're going to go ahead and put their home on our database, Our EXP team alone has 95,000 agents strong, which is now able to showcase and canvas and curate buyers for your home. Okay. We're going to talk to them about that. And maybe you have a personalized website. And if you have a personalized website, you may want to show them how are people coming in and out into your personalized website. And if you have a personalized website, you may want to have IDX feed into that, because now IDX is now going to capture the people that are coming in and doing the searches and saving the homes. And that information is now going to come back to you. Okay. We're going to talk to them about a cash offer position. Sellers sometimes want to sell their home as is. I literally sold a home. We're talking about princess homes here, Kayla. We literally sold a home that the lady was adamant about selling her home in an as-is position. But guess what? When I first walked in, I had told her we can do one or two things. We can sell the house for $350 as is, or we can sell the home for $450 and renovate it. And I gave her the renovation options, which I'm going to talk to you guys about in the next slide. But I gave her the opportunity to paint the picture, okay? We have a cash offer company right within EXP right here that we can showcase the home to them. They will give them a cash offer sight unseen. You can close in 30 days or less. And guess what? Don't think that just because they're at a 350 that they're not interested in this. But guess what also? Even $1 million people want to sell as is also. Or, Mr. Seller, we have the opportunity where we can bring in our team, and through Curbio or through my contractor that I've built a strong relationship with, we can fix your home and put it at top dollar where it's fully renovated, new floors, new kitchen, new paint, new windows, new roof, whatever you like. And you can do one or two things. You can either pay it up front or you can finance the work. Jeff, how do you have people financing the work? I've built relationships with the people out there. So as you guys are prospecting each and every single day, I hope you're prospecting as well for contractors, plumbers, electricians, roofers. Those are people that you lead in your arsenal so that when you're meeting with buyers, you're meeting with sellers, you can literally help them to get to the finish line. I have a buyer of mine right now that's under contract. The house has an AC issue, had a termite issue, and had a electrical issue. And guess what? He was ready to cancel. And I said, hey, what about if we can get all the items fixed? We got the seller to replace the AC. And guess what? I got my contractor already there fixing the electrical panel. And I saved the deal. We don't have to get back in the car and look at properties. He doesn't have to go back into underwriting. I don't have to waste time doing another inspection. And we're closer to closing. But just like that, we were able to find a resolution. And what does that mean, ladies and gentlemen? I figured it out. Now, in our fix and flip opportunity, we also have the opportunity of providing you a staging on your home. Or we have the opportunity to even create a budget. And some of my people have heard about this already. Mr. Seller, we've created a budget where we can help you advance the money to do the work on your home, and we get compensated on the back end. I got a listing that's coming to the market right now. I've been coming soon for the past 15 days. And the lady finally called me today. She says, Jeff, I really don't have the money to finish the kitchen or add the dishwasher. I said, it's okay. Send me the dishwasher. I will get the dishwasher for you and you will pay me on the back end. She says, really? We've already ordered the dishwasher. Best Buy is bringing the dishwasher Saturday at 1 o'clock. The home is now being ready to go on the market. But guess what? I've been able to create that allowance that now they have money to get their home in tip-top condition, where I will upfront the money and they will pay me on the back end. Okay? And maybe you're not in a position to do this. So then what do you need to do? You need to leverage your relationships. I heard leverage earlier today. You need to leverage the relationships that you have with your contractors and your workers and say, hey, I got a sweet listing coming on the market. Average days on the market over here is about 15 days. The seller is highly motivated to sell. She's going to be buying another property. I've reviewed her net sheet already. She's going to be walking away with about $455,000. She will pay you at the time of closing for the $3,500 that you're spending. And then when I'm going to talk to the sellers, I'm going to talk to them about a marketing plan. Thank you so much, Hoss Pratt, for giving me the tips that you provided me over these years. Okay, so what is the marketing plan? The marketing plan is the behind the scenes, which is the coming soon opportunity. It's the phone calls, it's the postcards, it's the internet, it's the social media, it's access to 950 websites. Once you list on the MLS, Mr. Vassell, do you know that your home is going to go to 950 websites where people are going to now be able to see your home? How does this compare to the little Zillow ad you were running for the past 32 days? Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to audit the bulk, I'm going to say the bulk, I'm going to be honest, of the websites. I literally sometimes preview people's homes that have gone expired, and the home never even showed up on Redfin. It never showed up on Zillow. It never showed up on Realtor.com. Why? Because sometimes the address is a little bit different. Sometimes it doesn't pull the information, or sometimes something happens in the system where the information is old from when the listing was listed 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. So, Mr. Seller, if we put your house on Realtor.com, where once it gets listed on the MLS and it's now able to bring you thousands of buyers, we now list it on Trulio where we're going to get 800 buyers. Then we now target it to Facebook and we run Facebook ads plus boosting, probably going to get you 1,000 buyers. Imagine how many more eyes we're now able to get on your home. Create your marketing plan. Whatever your marketing plan is, create that. And this is mine right here. This is mine right here. People say, Jeff, do you have a listing presentation plan? I say, no, I use the same plan for every property. I use the same plan. I literally print and go. I print and go. .3D renderings, specific home link, MLS access, virtual tours. And then guess what, Mr. Seller? What we're going to do is we're going to have our pre-marketing opportunity that's out here. And what you may need assistance on is our concierge service. Our concierge service may be you in the back end. They don't know that. But you're going to provide a concierge service to them that's going to have them get their home ready. I have a listing that's coming on the market right now. They never heard. I even forgot the name. Give me a second. They never heard of the rat, or they never heard of the pod. They never heard of the pod company. I literally sent them the information to the pod company, and I said, in efforts for us to get top dollar for your home, we need to really declutter this house. And with understanding that you guys are going to be traveling 250 miles away from here, you should probably consider looking into a pod. They sometimes have discounts. They sometimes have the first 2 months free. So you may want to look to get in the pod here. Now you can now transfer the pod to the 250 miles of where you guys are relocating to. And that company will pick it up when you guys get there. And once you guys are done doing that, I have a cleaning team that's going to be able to come over and clean the home so it's as professionally as it can look. Okay. And then also, what are we going to do when we do get the house? We're going to go ahead and we're going to host an open house, where sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, they say they don't want open houses, but guess what? I was able to have that conversation with them. We're going to go ahead and we're going to cultivate the experience on doing everything that we can possibly do to get this home sold. And you know, one things that I do ask them, I ask them, and I use this a lot of times, even when we're not getting traffic. I ask them, what would you like for us to do? Sometimes they may say, hey, I want you to not put it on Facebook. Sometimes they say, I want you to call all the realtors. Sometimes they may say, I want you to hold the brokers open. Sometimes they say, I want you to run ads. I want to do whatever the seller wants me to do because we're in a partnership to get the home sold. And sometimes when I hit 7 days, 10 days, 15 days on the market, while I may talk about pricing, before I get there, I say, what would you like us to do? Do you have any other ideas of what would you like us to do to move your home? Okay. Statistics on how many phone calls we made. So I use the phone calls actually in reverse. I say, Mr. Seller, the same way I got on the phone with you and I called you to get your listing is the same way I'm going to be on the phones to get buyers to come into your home. I'm talking to realtors. I'm talking to sellers and buyers each and every single day. And guess what? Sometimes they need to relocate, and they're relocating as a seller into a home just like yours. Okay. What I'm doing in this presentation right here is I'm building up so much that there really no option to say no. I had a gentleman literally listening. I had a gentleman.
3,300? 3,330, I think. It's in there. Please mute.
Or tell us where you're heading to.
Please mute.
I literally had a seller say, man, Jeff, I have no choice but to sign because you've answered every single objection. Came to find out I sold his property and he had multiple other properties as well. If you're on YouTube or you navigate through YouTube or you create videos or whatever you do, use that as well. Use that as well. I literally purchased the same photography package for every single listing I have. Because that one video, I'm not going to use that one video for the listing. I'm going to use that one video to talk to sellers. I'm going to use that one video for social media. And I'm going to use that one video when I sit at an appointment with someone and say, hey, this is a video that we created for a house that's similar to yours. And look at the views that we got on it, or look how beautiful it came out, or look about what we can do when we get your house on the market as well. And sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, what happens is that they can't even think about what to do because it's just so much. You're talking to them and they're really just processing, how is this all going to work out? That's really what they're doing. And what I came in is provided the Superman experience of letting them know that, hey, as minimal as it may be, we got somebody that's going to clean your house the day of move out. You don't have to worry about that. A great friend of mine was even purchasing boxes. I don't even know if he still does that, but he would purchase boxes, although they were branded to him. He would provide those to the customers so that they can box up their home and have the process of them moving out even easier. And you said, what he told me was that he loved about it is that when they throw the boxes away and they put them in the front of the house, everyone driving by can now see the branded boxes. Home staging, man, home staging has saved the day on so many things. And some people don't want home staging, but some people need it. So what we do with the home staging is we say, hey, we can bring in a stager that's going to stage your home. We can do a minimal staging, or we can do a full staging, or we can even do virtual staging. We can do virtual staging as well. And then either the seller will pay for it, which I've had done on some houses, or we will pay for it. So the staging is another way to get more eyes on the home, especially if you're speaking to an expired. If you're speaking to an expired, you got to figure out, what am I going to do differently? Everyone's calling to get the listing, but no one has ever said anything. So how I'm picking up the phone on an expired is that, Mr. Seller, I'm looking at the photos and I see how beautiful your home is, but I want to let you know about our staging package that we offer. And this staging package has literally taken homes off the market in less than 7 days. And you know what? I'm a testimony to it myself. I literally sold a property in November that I had on the market for about 56 days, and I couldn't figure out what was going on with the property. I took it off the market, I staged the home, and I had it sold in 13 days. I'm my own student. So sometimes you think that staging doesn't go far, but think about the new constructions that you're walking into each and every single day. You guys are creating content out of this. You guys are recording it and putting it into your stories. You're showing your buyers the stage home rather than the unstaged home. People love looking at good things. And then I'm going to paint the roadmap of how is the process going to go. I always tell my customers at the end of this process, you're going to be almost a mini real estate agent, because I'm going to make sure that I educate you so much that you're going to know the steps by steps process and nothing will be confusing to you. So preparing your home for sale. Preparing your home for sale. I love the coming soon opportunity that's out there. That's my number one thing that I go to each and every single time. Mr. Seller, do you understand that we have a coming soon that allows me to pre-market your home up to 21 days as you get your house in order, which is decluttering, staging, the photos, yard sales. So like that, we're not losing any time. And I'm going to walk them through. We're going to host an open house on Saturday, which is the first weekend that the house is available. And if we're successful in the open house, I'm going to be able to meet with you on Monday and we're going to go through all the offers. Okay, while the market may be a little bit slower now, we're thinking of other creative ways. So what we're doing now is we're now talking about our open house schedule. We're going to host an open house on this home every single weekend until we get it sold. Or we're going to target market this home with a virtual open house every single weekend until we get it sold. If it happens to fall into the luxury space, you definitely want to use some luxury sites that you're affiliated with or that you may know of that you can definitely advertise the home to. If you have designations in the luxury space that provide you access, you may want to use that. So if you're a part of Lux and you have that network, you may want to use that. If you're a part of the CHLMS or if you're part of EXP Luxury, you may want to use that as well. Whatever you're a part of, you want to use that. You want to use the tools that they provide you, but you also want to use the network. Mr. Sala, I don't know about the last agent you met with, but I'm a part of Lux or I'm part of Luxury Portfolio, whatever it is. And our network is 2,500 people strong. And not only does my organization showcase your home on there, but it also provides access to 2,500 additional people to now showcase your home. We spoke about the 900 websites already. Another piece that I've taken from Haas as well. Communication guaranteed, man. I love this. You know why I love this so much? I love this so much because it keeps me accountable to get to the sellers. It keeps me accountable to get to the sellers. I heard Claudia talk about it just the other day, how her customers are receiving the automatic feedback. How many showings, how many views. Listen, Mr. Seller, each and every single week, you're going to get an email from me that's going to give you the activity of what's happening on your home. And you know how I open it? I say, you know, the number one reason why agents are not successful is because they don't communicate. And my communication guarantee program provides you the opportunity where you're going to hear from me each and every single week through email on what's the activity of what's happening on your home. And I've guaranteed that so hard. I said, if there's ever a week where you don't hear from me, you have the right to terminate us. Our communication guarantee is going to keep you updated on the process of what's happening through the loan process once we're under contract. It's going to keep you updated on what's happening with the title work. A lot right now, what's happening, folks, people that are selling or buying other properties. I've done so many people that have sold and purchased that they really can't even miss a beat. They cannot miss a beat. What's your commission? My commission is 0% and upward. I've said that so many times. 0% and upward. And you know how I use this? I use this really to get into the door. So what do you mean? Can you elaborate a little bit more? I definitely will elaborate a little more. At the time that we meet on Thursday at 4 p.m., I'm going to show you that you as the seller have the right to pick your commission plan. Or I'll say this, what was the commission you were paying the last agent if it was an expired? Because now I know exactly where their mind frame is, and I know where do I need to focus on. And maybe they paid the last agent 4%. And now I'm going to show you, yeah, you paid the agent 4%, but guess what? At 5, 6, 7%, this is what I'm going to be able to provide to you, plus the stats of everything that I just went over. When I see agents get low commissions now, I believe that they don't have the systems to stand up for what they want. I believe they don't. I believe they don't, because you can easily roll a commission into a purchase price. So, Mr. Seller, we're going to list your home at 760. If we go 6%, 760. If we go 770, we can go 7%. Let's go ahead and let's list it in the middle. Let's go 765. And now we're able to bring in more eyes, more opportunities, less days on market by building the commission into the price. We know everything is going to be negotiated. Mr. Seller, we will worry about the commission on the back end when it comes time for negotiations. And another tool is that I say, hey, if I need to leverage my commission, let's go ahead and let's bring in the buyers. So, Mr. Seller, I would never list your home for anything less than 2.5 because I want to bring in all the buyers. And as we just looked at the MLS, we noticed that everything was anywhere between 2.5 to 3%, right? So if we need to negotiate the commission, we'll negotiate my commission on the back end. But let's go ahead and list the home today at 775 so that we can get all the eyes that we can on there. And then what I'm doing, ladies and gentlemen, is that I already know that I put that out there. So guess what? When I'm negotiating the seller's contract, I'm negotiating, hoping and praying and figuring out how we're not going to lower my commission. And one of the best things I love is that when the seller says, we'll take 760, and I'm able to go back to the buyer and say, hey, your offer has been accepted. And now all the terms have just worked out in favor of everyone. Continue to build your testimonials. Testimonials are very, very important. I spoke about this morning on our morning huddle, is to paint a story. Every process that you're going through has a story. And these stories are stories that you need to now take and share with those sellers that are in the same predicament, that you're now using them as examples. So continue to get those testimonials. One of the things that I do when I'm about to meet a seller is I text them over my business card, and I text them over either my Google page or my Zillow page. And I say, I hope you have a quick moment to review all my reviews before we meet tomorrow at 5 p.m. so that you can get a better understanding of who I am and how I operate. And sometimes the sellers are so proud to say, man, I read the reviews. I literally took a listing one time that the wife had read the reviews. Their friend was about to list the home, and they didn't want to list the home until they met with me. And she stood right there and she told me that. Ladies and gentlemen, this comes to the end of my presentation on how I cultivate the relationships with the sellers to answer a lot of questions that they may have, get them to the finish line, and win the listing. I want to open it up for questions right now. It's 12:51. If I can, Jessica, can I open it up for questions?
Absolutely. I think a lot of people are ready to give their questions. I see some fires in the chat. Tanya said that was so powerful. Crystal, this was so good. Guys, if you want to open up your mics and just let Jeff know and give him your appreciation.
Thank you so much for the information. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Hey, listen, I'm a student, y'all. So if there's anything that I can do to perfect my skills and get better, I can add to my presentation or maybe remove from my presentation, please share it with me. I want to open it up for some feedback, for some questions.
I have a question as well.
Oop, let's see. First person who just opened up their mic, please ask your question.
Hi, my name's Leah. I'm just wondering, I'm a newer agent and I'm wondering like how long did it take you to get this, like get all of that perfected in that way? Have you been doing this since the very beginning? Where did you get all this? Like, how did you know to put together a presentation like that? And I mean, because I have a team leader here locally where I'm at, and he's great. You know, they have a presentation like that as well, but yours is a lot more detailed and offers a lot more value. And I'm just wondering, like, did you just learn over time these things, or what?
A great question. Listen, my former company had a presentation that was already built out for us. So what I did was I was able to take pieces from that. I attended training courses. I learned. So sometimes, guys, the way I created the commission menu, which is what I call it, is I literally lost one of my agents literally lost a listing. And I remember right there in the office that we were in, I said, we got to create a commission plan. And just like that, we created a commission plan that I hear so many other people are using now that gives them the option to pick their commission at 5, 6, 7%. It's really trial and error, but definitely coaching and mentorship. But I remember that day that we lost the listing for 5%. And I said, we're going to create a commission menu. And I've just enhanced it ever since then. So really attending segments like this, plug it into Haas Pratt. I've read that book so many times. It's right here on my desk as we speak. And just going through segments like this, but also curating your presentation to what you offer. You may not be in a position to offer an allowance. You may not know of a staging company. You may have a huger Instagram than I do. And if that's your platform, or your YouTube's your platform, or your Facebook's your platform, allow that to be your marketing plan. Okay. But for me, really trial and error, using pieces, attending segments, being a student every single time. I still listen to podcasts each and every single day. Every single day I listen to podcasts, and I take pieces from those. And sometimes I question myself. Sometimes I'm driving to a listing appointment, listening to a listing presentation, so I can just basically reaffirm myself on what I need to do, how I need to position myself, and how I need to overcome the objection. I don't know whose question that was, but thank you for that.
That was Leah. Thank you,
Thank
Leah.
you. That was an amazing answer. Thank you.
Rosemary, she had her hand up, so I'm gonna let Rosemary go.
Hey, oh my gosh, this is just like, it just solidifies like what we should all be doing, guys. I mean, this is like spectacular. I just love it. I actually had a couple of questions for you, Jeff. First of all,
wait. Before you go, ladies and gentlemen, who needs no introduction, her first year in business, over $7 million in closed business. She's probably going to drop me some nuggets right now. Rosemary out of New York.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Yeah, so I actually have a couple of questions. I know obviously you gathered all your information based off your experience and what you offer. Who actually developed your presentation for you? Because for those of you who don't have something together, perhaps you can make that connection on who actually designed and developed it for you. Now, in the beginning of the call, you mentioned that you are now using a company that's making your calls. Because I know you're like on the phones all day, and there's just so many people you can actually contact. Who is the company? What is the company that you're using, if you don't mind sharing with us? And also, too, you mentioned something about that certification or that course, the SRS. I need to do that. Where do we find that to sign up for that? Like, that is like, come on, we need to do that. Those are my questions.
All right, so I'll go 3, 2, 1. So the SRS designation, it's a national designation for any realtors that are real estate professionals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the NAR link right here.
I just did.
Awesome. Thank
Just
you.
dropped it for everyone. I
Thank
also
you.
dropped Haas Prass's registration link for his trainings. If you have not attended Haas Pratt's training and coaching, register now. I also have the link in the chat as well. Let me know if you guys need to see it again. But yes, SRS is in there.
There you go. SRS number two was Fiverr. I just found someone on Fiverr. I've been using Fiverr probably this whole entire month to just get stuff done. So it's really, so I have a team. So I have my team go and find me someone on Fiverr for what I need them to do. And really what I needed someone to do was call, find me someone on Fiverr that can make phone calls for me. And what I do is I find them on Fiverr and then I pull them off of there. I bring them into WhatsApp because they're in another country. And I cultivate that relationship with them right there. In addition to that, I needed someone to clean up my database so that we now have automations going out. I said, go find me someone in Fiverr that knows how to use Follow Up Boss or KV Core and knows how to do automations. So we went and did that, and now we have someone that is actively working on the CRM. So our people are going to be receiving text messages and emails back and forth, plus
And
calendar.
when did you start that? How long ago did you start that?
That's this month.
Okay, got it.
And then I did lose your third question.
The company, the
Oh,
list
no,
presentation. Oh, and the
the build out.
SRS. That was it.
And then the build out of the presentation, who does it? My team actually did it. My team did it for me. But what we continue to do is we continue to add and remove stuff from there each and every single day as we need fit. Or what happens is I may be meeting with a particular person and I'll say, hey, can we curate the presentation towards that? Which is definitely, you can find someone on Fiverr. What I believe is that if you find that one person or 2-3 people off Fiverr, you can build that relationship with them where you continue to go to them every single time.
Thank
And
you.
I really work on pricing with them. So the CRM person, I started working with them May 22, and we're still working together.
Deborah had her hand second. So Deborah, go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Jeffrey. Yeah, I've been Haas has been helping me with this as well. So I've been just a little bit of a reignition of completing my solid presentation. So thank you for the training. But I did have a quick question. So as far as like, because I've been doing like cold calling or calling sellers and trying to get appointments, and I've been doing them virtually. And I just wanted to get like your opinion on it. Like when you do virtual presentations, is it better to like have it virtually and kind of see like where they're at, engage with them, and then once they're like, okay, yeah, let's move forward, then go to the home and meet them in person to get that contract signed? Or is it better to do that like right after like a virtual presentation?
Well, you always want to see the home right away. Like one of my friends is listing her own house, and I said, I can't put the house on the market till I see it. Like that's my personal friend. Like, so you always want to see the home because you want to see what you're walking into. They may say their home is fully renovated and hasn't been renovated since 1970, you know? So you want to definitely see the home. Sometimes when I'm not able to meet with sellers, I do Zoom appointments all the time. But what happens is I pray to solidify the appointment so strong that they can provide me the lockbox code if it's on a lockbox, or now I can now go ahead and check the home out. But definitely any way you can lock in the appointment so you can do that face to face, you definitely want to do that.
Okay. And then second question I had, because I've been working with buyers and I've been noticing, I was like, I can't do buyers all the time because they take up so much time. So I've been working on trying to get like a buyer agent. And I was just curious, do you usually just go into like EXP's chat rooms and try to find a buyer agent through there? And then how do you kind of like vet them?
I don't operate like that. But what I can definitely say is there's 51 people in this room today. You may want to find the 51 people that basically have kind of the same knowledge that you do, or kind of has the tenacity to be successful, hence they wouldn't be here, and see what part of towns they're in and how you can partner up with them so that they can help you with the buyer process.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm good with like getting them pre-approved and getting them set up. It's just they take up a lot of time with the showings and trying to figure out the listing presentations and appointments and then the buyer. So okay.
Hey, it may be time for you to say, hey, I need to build out a team, you know, and that
Yeah.
team does include a buyer's agent or a showing agent or whatever.
Deb, you're at the next level. You're at the next level. That's where you see growth. Danielle is next with her question.
Hi, thank you, Jeff, for all of this. The presentation was great. Here's my question. So the industries that I'm in prior or I'm currently still in are veterinary medicine and mental and behavioral health. With that being said, I can also call and reach out to past clients. How would you display that on your PowerPoint? So a simple getting references from them is fine, but I wanted to do a little bit more.
I'd get video. Video goes a long way. So if you ranked a 5-star opportunity with them and you know you just gave them a great experience, you maybe want to get that recorded at the time that you're with them. Or if it's in the past, maybe, hey, just say, hey, I'm rebuilding my website out. And I know I was able to help you back in 2018. And I know it was a great experience. Do you mind sending me a video?
So is that just specifically for clients, or would it be like I currently see people in the mental health and behavioral health, like I'm with therapy, right? So that's what I do every day, or I've worked for about 5 or 6 veterinarians in the area. I wouldn't necessarily go to their practices to do video. I can, but any other suggestions?
You can ask them to send you a video, but who's your audience? What are you doing with this feedback so I can better understand?
So I'm looking to get more into the commercial real estate space, but the purpose of becoming a realtor was to have my own insurance agency. But as a veterinary technician, I also specialized in psychology with mental and behavioral health. So it fits with helping everybody, like a 10x health concept, right? When you're in
Okay.
a lot of business, you have to keep your head on straight. And that was a goal when I was in college. So that's my focus. I work with a lot of professional people and always have, but I don't know how to connect it
Danielle,
to
it
real estate.
sounds like a branding. It sounds like you're struggling with branding. And I think you might want to consider like figuring out what is the intention, right? What is the intention? What is the brand? What is the claim? What are you trying to show to your demographic, right? And I think we can also Danielle, you and I can take this like offline because that's a whole other conversation. So we'll put a pin in that one. Um, just because for the sake of time, I want to be mindful of everyone here. We're already going over, and I think Monique has one last question. So Danielle, we'll get to you. Monique, go ahead.
Let me unmute myself. First, I wanted to say thank you so much. And I wanted just to solidify a point because I noticed you, Jeffrey, one of your unique contributions and why people pick you so often is that you're kind of like a hub to a lot of connections in the area, contractors, painters, photographers, everything like that. And I just want to say, what I gathered from your presentation was this is why it's so important to go through life with grace and professionalism, because you never know who you're going to meet and you never know how they're going to help you later on. But one thing I just wanted to offer a suggestion to Rosemary, because what I do is I'm somebody's assistant. I do their Canva, their Adobe, their content. I help make their logos, you know, any sort of graphic design business. And the way she found me was through Instagram. So I would definitely suggest going through every avenues of like creative minds, because you never know what they're willing to do. Especially artists, they're always looking for freelance work.
That is so true. I've looked for photographers on Instagram, videographers on Instagram too. So definitely true.
Thank you, Monique. Gerland wants to ask a question. Go ahead, unmute your mic, Gerland. I know he doesn't know how to raise the hand, but I see you in the comments.
Hi, Jeffrey. How are you?
Good. Thank
So
you.
I'm happy to be here today. It's my first time listening to your presentation. I'm a licensed realtor. And so my question is, I'm currently trying to sell my own property and it's been kind of hard. Do you have any advice for me on how to move to get the property sell?
Yeah, what you definitely want to do, we can definitely talk offline about that, but you definitely want to see about what's happening in your area. You know, what's happening with a lot of sellers, I believe, is that they still have maybe a 2020 mindset, or maybe us realtors have that 2020 mindset where we're still pricing homes really high. So it could be pricing, it could be marketing, it could be the audience of people that you're showcasing the home to. I believe also in this market right now that we need to put a lot more dollars into moving our homes if we're serious about moving them. So it's not just open house and place it on the MLS and hope and pray for a buyer, but actively door knocking, actively making calls, actively connecting. Like I have a property right now that I need to move. And what I literally did was I pulled a list of people that I saw that were doing billion-dollar sales. And I sent it over to my team and I said, hey, can you get me the phone numbers to these agents? Because obviously they may have access to getting my property moved. So thinking outside the box right now, this goes for everyone, is thinking outside the box right now and doing the extra 5, 10, 20 steps. And sometimes it's maybe really getting on the phones and prospecting for buyers for that particular listing, if that's what you want to get moved.
Okay, thank you for your advice.
Oh, definitely. Anyone
Thank
else?
you, everyone. Does anyone else have any other questions before we close out? I want to be respectful of everyone's time. I know everyone. Jeff, you've got everybody on overtime here. They love it here. They love it here. Look at this. 41 people are still with us. Thank you, everybody, each and every one of you, for taking the time today. We gems. You've been dropping gems, Jeffrey, and I think everyone is so appreciative and thankful for your time. I know I certainly learned some new things that were outside of the box, that you could take away from how you practice your business, and it shows, right? You taking those different actions is what's genuinely causing your success, right? You being different, you being creative with your solutions. So thank you so much, Jeffrey. If anyone has anything else to say, or if anyone wants to unmute your mic and just say thank you to Jeffrey, everybody. Woo!
Thank you,
Thanks,
Jeff.
Jeffrey.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jeffrey.
Have a
I
great.
want to
Oh,
hold
go
on.
ahead,
I want to close with this. I want to say take massive action. So as you guys attend trainings, don't take the information. What I literally do, ladies and gentlemen, is if I'm in a training course and something stands out to me, I'm literally texting my team and say, hey, let's incorporate this. Can you rebrand this? Can you recreate this? Can you go find this? Can you go plug into Amazon and get this? So really take the information and go figure it out. And that's probably through success of other people, other realtors that are on here, or maybe Fiverr or something like that.
Love that. Love that. That's a great note. Taking massive action, everybody. I will see you all for the
Will there
next
be a
frontline
recording
call.
of this?
Yes, it will, and it will be on Cardone World. You will see
Thank
it there.
you. Great. Thank you again, Jeff.
Bye, everyone.